This is the Happy Hour.
You guys want to have her?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll call okay.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. This is the last official happy hour of the week.
Ever.
Rico, what are you trying to tell me?
I don't know. What?
Last time until Monday ever that Rico and I get to do a show together. Nick Sainert, Rico with you as always. Rico, what's up, man?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic. Shout out to Nick for getting me lunch. Because I was
are you going to Venmo or Cash App? Whatever you want to call it?
I will. I was going to ask you how much it was, but I was going to do that off the air. We didn't have to do that on the air, but it's fine.
well, I got you lunch about
it's whatever.
50 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. And then I was doing a show.
I know how you are with those golf pools, by the way. I know.
I know. Different. Don't try that. No, I appreciate you getting lunch as I was in the production studio getting things ready for high school basketball that's going to take place Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday here on the Ticket, and again next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the boys' state tournament.
Yeah, we're pumped up. It was an exciting game last night. We'll dive into that and tell you a little bit more because it was a great evening of high school hoops for the capital city, which if you pay attention to like high school sports at all, whether it's football, basketball, whatever it may be, Omaha kind of runs the town, runs the state in terms of postseason success. Maybe not in some of the smaller sports, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to football, think about the two teams: Gretna, Omaha West Side. And when you think about basketball, it's been Bellevue West and Millard North with Hunter Salas and Chucky Hepburn and that kind of group, and Jason Green and now Josiah Doetzler at Bellevue West. However. Last night was a little bit different. We'll dive into that here in a moment. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Feel free to follow us on Twitter as well, Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC.
Thank you, everybody who voted in the poll yesterday.
Oh, about Mark?
About Mark Onweiler.
Did we have a substantial response? Because that's the key to these polls.
Yeah.
You have to have a substantial response.
36 votes.
Okay.
There's 9 minutes left. So if anybody hasn't voted at Radio Rico AC, the question is, how many alcoholic beverages will at Mark's Voice partake in while up in Minneapolis watching baseball? The over-under was set to 18.5. Currently, the over is winning 69% to 31% with 36 votes. 9 minutes left. So get your friends, go vote.
I got to make sure I voted on that poll. I very well could not have. Either way, let's talk a little high school hoops before we get out of here. Remember, the girls tournament starts tomorrow. We'll have Ravenna and SEM coming your way tomorrow morning. Crap. You're going to make me do this, Rico. Come
on.
Gosh, I've prepped
I know.
For 7 games, which means 14 teams of information is in my noggin right now. Sumner SEM. Sumner something Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. This makes me look like a really bad broadcaster.
Oh no, you're prepared for a lot of games.
This makes me look like
back when I was doing the high school show, I did the same thing with the same name.
Sumner Eddyville Miller.
There it is.
All right, so Sumner Eddyville Miller, the co-op out there, going up against Ravenna. Now it doesn't sound maybe from the sound of it all that riveting. Trust me, it's a team that's 18-4 going up against a team that's 24-2. So it'll be a good one. Thank you, Willie, on the text line. Raph, appreciate you as always. Raph always chiming in from wherever he may be in the world. I think Raph is in Omaha today. So thanks, Raph.
Where in the world is Chris Raph?
Having us on your drive. Okay, so let's talk high school hoops real quick. Last night, we'll talk about the game that was on the station. Lincoln Southwest and Lincoln East. If you have not seen any of the Twitter posts that I made or that the Ticket retweeted, or even during the crossover there. The atmosphere at Lincoln East last night was insane. It was jumping from the get-go, and you had Sam Greasel was in attendance, and you had a lot of former alumni from each side that was there in the A5 district final last night. Southwest, shockingly enough, has only been to state one time in boys basketball. Shockingly enough, I did not think that was true.
I don't believe that.
I have double and triple fact checked according to the NSAA site.
Really?
And they have only been to state tournament in boys basketball. They're a staple in girls.
Yeah,
they already returned. But in boys basketball, 2009.
Huh.
Crazy.
My freshman year.
And it was shocking to me. Lincoln East, however, I want to say has been there over 20 times.
Many a time.
But here's the deal. Last night, Lincoln Southwest and their point guard, Ryland Smith, who's the career assist leader and career point scorer at Southwest. Funny enough, the record was broken by Ben Hunziker 2 seasons ago, then broken once again this season. Ben Hunziker's record was broken by Ryland Smith this season. So
we'll just look for the record to be broken.
Keep
2 years
going.
from now?
Yeah, and probably Chuck Love
Okay.
would probably be
so 2 years
record.
from now.
Yeah, 2
Next
years
year or
from
2
now.
years?
2 years.
2 years? Okay.
2 years when Chuck Love's a senior.
They'll just keep doing that.
But it was, just a really, really impressive basketball game. Lincoln East was down by 4 at half. They ended up winning by 4, 76-72. Lincoln Southwest season is done. But a really, really strong showing from Alex Baugh's squad at Lincoln Southwest. And then Jeff Campbell, nice job by all the Spartans out there. They will be going to state once again. Then elsewhere, here's the crazier ones. I mentioned that Lincoln East game was the only one going on in the capital city. So that meant, obviously, that Lincoln Southeast, Lincoln North Star, they all had to travel.
Because it's been a good year.
Because it's been a
basketball.
really balanced year in Lincoln Lincoln High School basketball. Really balanced. Pius fell on the road to Kearney. You had Lincoln High, who's on the road tonight at Omaha West Side. I saw some people trying to, or I got mentioned on Twitter or asked on Twitter if I was going to do the Lincoln High West Side game. We're not doing that one. Just a little far. Also, we're about to do 48 games. So just
maybe
rest the vocal cords a little bit.
Day.
But either way, so Lincoln High is going to Omaha West Side tonight to play in a district final game with obviously the state tournament on the line. But last night, Lincoln Southeast goes on the road to Creighton Prep and beats the Junior Jays. Lincoln Southeast wins on the road. They'll be playing in state.
Wow.
They are an extremely young team as well. One guy to watch on Lincoln Southeast team is Van Dak. Great player. Really fun to watch. Then Lincoln North Star goes on the road to Gretna. Now, you'll remember Gretna from last year's state tournament. They have 2 guys, Alex Wilcoxon and Landon Pekorski, who are snipers. They're sharpshooters from beyond the arc. They ended up beating Gretna on the road. Lincoln North Star did. They'll be going to state.
Wow.
One guy to watch for them, Brennan Clemens Jr. and Antala San Linnell. 2 really good guys. Obviously, Brennan Clemens Jr., the son of former Husker Brennan Clemens. So,
what?
Yeah, who would have thunk? So either way, Lincoln North Star has punched their ticket as well. So if you're keeping track, sort of, this is how the field will look. It's going to be Bellevue West and their undefeated record, number 1 overall,
as they should.
Number 1 seed. Number 2 is going to be Miller North, as usual, right? Elijah Gaith is the guy to watch for Miller North, and then you have Gretna, who will get the wild card.
They're going to wild card.
They're going to have the wild card, so they'll still make it. Then you have, in some order, I haven't seen the seeding yet, and I think part of it might dictate on what happens tonight with Lincoln High and Omaha West Side. You have 3 Lincoln teams of Lincoln Southeast, Lincoln East, and North Star. And so you have at least 3 capital city teams, possibly 4 if Lincoln High can get the job done tonight against Omaha West Side. Really, really strong year. Lincoln Northeast played in the district final last night against Bellevue West. Bellevue West is just a juggernaut. They have a Creighton commit and Josiah Doetzler, just really, really strong.
He's going to be really good. If West Side makes it in, that'll be the only Omaha team.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to high school sports, if you follow Mike Sauter, he said that earlier in the week, he wasn't sure if any Omaha team was going to make it in the boys state tournament. And that would have been a first since 19. Do you remember what he put?
It would have been. Oh, here, I can quickly look it up here. I saw the tweet that you were talking about. For some reason, I feel like it was a 7 in there, but I don't remember if that's correct or not. But either way, here we are. Just a really, really impressive evening of basketball in the capital city. There's an exciting week on deck here with the girls' state tournament. Super pumped to get rolling with that one as well, and it's just going to be a really good couple of weeks here that we'll kind of mold ourselves around Pinnacle Bank Arena, and then also the normal shows that happen here. Early breaks still going to be going on from 6 to 8 every morning. We'll have about 40 minutes or so to fill back here at the studio from 8 to 8:40 before the first game always tips off at 9 a.m. The final game of the day always closes out at 7:45 p.m. And usually those are the Class A and Class B games. So
I found the Mike Sauter tweet.
Okay.
Little history. It was back on February 25th. No OPS boys or girls teams will make the state basketball tournament this year. I just remembered Westside isn't technically OPS.
Gotcha.
The last time no OPS school made the boys or girls state basketball tournament was 1971.
Jeez. There you go.
So this will be the first year since 1971 that no OPS boys or girls team will be in the state tournament.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really fun weekend. Central City is also in the state tournament this year for boys basketball. We're starting to wrap up the district finals for the boys side of things. Tonight will be the final day. Then they'll have about a week off before they get rolling at Pinnacle Bank Arena and at the Devaney Center. But then, like I said, the girls start tomorrow. One interesting of note here in Lincoln, Kennedy Williams, daughter of Husker basketball coach Amy Williams, had a torn ACL this year.
Yes.
She comes back. I want to say she's played in 4 games.
Oh, she's playing again?
She's playing, and the Silverhawks are going to state.
How? She tore, like, at the beginning of...
It was during the
off
season.
Yeah, it was before basketball season. Because they were worried she wasn't going to be able to play. But now she's back.
Yep.
How long has it been?
Obviously, the Husker commit as well. She plays with I saw some videos.
Basketball and softball.
Yes, she's playing. She's playing with a brace over her right knee. I want to say it is, but so she's playing, and Southwest is going back to state.
Wow.
So just a really crazy couple of storylines that we'll actually get to see that Southwest girls team tomorrow. It's going to be fun. And Kennedy Williams,
they beat my Thunderbirds.
Yes,
in Bellevue.
Yes, and Kennedy Williams is one of those that she kind of made her mark and asserted herself on the scene on a bigger stage last year at the state tournament, and so we expect something similar today. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We'll get rolling with the girls' state tournament.
All right, you get some early break. You get about an hour of the drive. I'll be sitting in for Nick, although we'll probably get him to come to stream in or something. We'll get him on the line somehow. But yeah, you'll get an hour of that, and then we'll go straight into basketball.
Yeah, just make sure that also you tell your friends. I know last night we had somebody listening in Kansas City.
Ooh.
Who was a Lincoln East alum. So shout out to them for listening in Kansas City, and it's gonna be a really fun weekend. Looking forward to whatever comes our way. It's gonna be a couple long days at Pinnacle Bank Arena, but obviously wouldn't change it for the world because it's gonna be a fun atmosphere, especially when you get some of the small towns all together. There's some heated rivalries that necessarily we don't know about going on between some of those schools. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, let's talk a little Husker hoops. Got a big one tonight against Michigan State. Also have some NFL discussions down on the back burner a little bit as well. So we'll dive into all that and more coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico C. More past next. 37fm.com.
Look, it's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring Sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84 from the internet. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to tell you that they are full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right in Westo and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on Westo Street at Price Right Auto.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at lincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Mostly cloudy skies for the majority of the day. We may see some clearing late. We'll see a high of around 50. Winds out of the southeast at around 10 to 15. Clearing skies tonight with a low down to around 30. We'll see an increase in cloud cover late in the day tomorrow with a high once again near 50. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the United States. Regular screening can reduce colon cancer deaths by 50%. At-home screening tests, such as the fecal immunochemical test, FIT, can help identify precancerous polyps and prevent colon cancer. FIT is easy to use with no prep needed, completed in the privacy of your own home, and are often free to order from your local county health department. Take a health quiz to know if you are at risk of developing colon cancer. Doing so will help you to protect your family and yourself.
Chances are you've tried fruitcake before. Chances are it looked pretty weird. Lots of colors that don't really exist in nature. Chances are it tasted weird. Chances are you need to try fruitcake again. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. None of that weird stuff you didn't like, just real fruit, premium nuts, and the delicious flavor combination of brandy, bourbon, and rum to meld all that together. See for yourself. Grandma's fruitcake from Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
We've been a little spoiled with a mild winter so far, but the snow is here and it's time to take care of your car. Stop by your local Rocket Car Wash to remove dirt and salt buildup and protect your vehicle from winter weather wear. Visit us at our 2 area Rocket Car Wash locations for a quick, quality clean every time. If your car's interior is feeling the winter weather, check out Express Detail Tunnels at our Williamsburg location, 3033 Village Drive. RocketCarWash.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into the happy hour, 93.7 ticketfm.com. Nick and Rico with you.
The poll is in.
Oh, go ahead. How many?
42
it's
votes.
over.
42 votes. The poll is over.
Okay.
How many alcoholic beverages will Mark partake in while up in Minneapolis watching baseball? The over-under set to 18.5. The over wins 66.7%.
Okay.
The under loses 33.3%.
There it
42
is.
votes. So now we're just going to have to rely on Mark to not lie to us and let us start
That's not how many he has.
alcoholic beverages he has.
402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both those open for you guys. We got an unnamed texter last segment said Elmwood Murdoch plays at 10:45 tomorrow morning. So if they're playing at Pinnacle Bank Arena, they're going to be on our station.
I do not believe they are, unfortunately.
They're not?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, I apologize.
I don't think so. I think it was all
The-
when I looked at it, I think
the-
it was all Class A the first day.
Well, so we have D1 to start tomorrow morning.
Okay, and I could be wrong.
So either way, I know. So Carter's calling a 10:45 game. So we can find out. I you know what? Let's just do this
Let's
right
just do
now.
it.
We'll find every single game that we have tomorrow. I know the ones I'm doing. I just don't know the ones that Carter's doing. Okay, so Girls State Championship bracket. We have at 9 a.m. the SEM versus Ravenna. I forgot. I know it's Eddiesville, Sumner, Eddiesville, Miller. Okay.
Somebody tried to say Myrna. I know they give it.
Yeah, no, it's Miller. And then he scared DP scared me walking around.
That one's on me.
Oh, he looked in the
Yeah.
in the Chick-fil-A bag. Anyway, and so that's at 9 a.m. Then at 10:45, it's McCool Junction and Humphrey St. Francis. Then at 1:30, Millard South, Lincoln Southwest, 3:15, Bell West, Bell East, 6 p.m., Millard North, Lincoln North Star, and 7:45, Lincoln High, Millard West.
Okay.
So there you go. So 2 D2 games and 4 Class A games going on tomorrow. So, okay. Rico, I told you during the break, I said, I'm going to ask you a question.
You had something for me.
And I want to get your raw reaction here on this. This game tonight between Nebraska and Michigan State tips off at 8 p.m. on Big Ten Network. It's big.
Yes.
Right? Nebraska has a chance to finish the season not finish the season, go into their final game 16-14, their final game going on later this weekend against Iowa on the road, which will assure them of a above 500 finish in a season, which is crazy.
And possibly a 500 finish in conference.
Yes. And when we talk about how much is riding on this game, they are tied for 9th place in the Big Ten, which 9th place gets a first-round bye in the Big Ten Conference Tournament starting next Wednesday, March 8th. So when you sit here and you realize how big tonight's game is in its own right, how much bigger is it if Nebraska beats Purdue?
That is
you have a win
that if everything goes exactly the same.
Yep, everything goes exactly the same.
You
just beat number 1 Purdue,
who was number 1 at the time. You beat Purdue, everything goes exactly the same. No, they're number 1.
Okay.
I think.
Either way,
whatever.
Top 5.
You beat them. I think if you ended up winning this game, that puts you squarely in the tournament.
Think about how wild that is.
I don't think if everything goes the same that you're in the tournament still quite yet, even with the win over Purdue.
So think about what we just said with Nebraska men's basketball, and it's a. I just dropped a football. Here we are, Nebraska 15-14. They've been without 2 of their starters, Emmanuel Bandamel and Juwan Gary, since January 21st. And here we are looking back on that December 10th game when Nebraska comes into this game 6-4 overall. They lose 65-62 in overtime to Purdue. They were down by 10 at the half, 34-24. Then they outscore them in the second half, 32-22. This was a game where once again you held Zach Edey to 11 points in 45 minutes of time. He played 43 minutes. You held him to 11 points. And this was 2 games. It would have been, it would have been a little bit longer than that. It would have been about 6 games after Derek Walker came back. So still relatively new into his season. The one guy that killed you that game was Fletcher Lawyer, a freshman, played in 33 minutes, dropped 22 points as well on you as well. It's just you don't want to look back and kind of dwell on some losses, but man,
that would have been a big one.
It would have been a huge one, and you have no idea what that does to skyrocket you in your program later on in the season. But if we are,
and that's just
we're just playing everything out the same way as it has unfolded,
yeah, you get blown out by Kansas State the next game.
No, here's the thing. Nebraska is 16-13 right now.
Again, if you get that win and everything goes exactly the same, you're still not in the tournament.
You're 16-13 and you're 9-9 in the conference. 9-9 right now in the conference puts you in sole possession of 9th place.
That would be nice.
It's insane to think about just the difference,
nice.
especially when we talk about and we look at the Big Ten and under in recent years they've been a league that's gotten a decent number of teams to the Big Ten tournament every season. They're talking it'll be another year where 7 or possibly 8 teams get into the tournament. Here we are, and Nebraska would be right on the fringe to where if they do something special in the Big Ten tournament, they're not out of it.
No, they're squarely. It's I wouldn't say squarely, but it's weird to think that this late in the season that Nebraska can play their way into an NCAA tournament appearance.
Well, they can play their way. Well, I'm okay with an NIT.
Well, yeah, no, okay. So in NIT, you win this one, you lose to Iowa, you win one game in the Big Ten tournament, you're in the NIT. You may not host the game, but you're in the NIT.
Because at that moment, you are, you win tonight 16-14, you win one in the NIT, that's 17-14, you lose against Iowa, and you lose one in the NIT. So you're 17-16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 17-16. You would be 9-11 in the conference if you win tonight, lose to Iowa. You'd be 9-11 in the conference, which would be around 9th place. Here's what's interesting to think about is if Nebraska. Now I don't know. I mean, we can play this game here to where like Wisconsin and Penn State. So who does Wisconsin have? Wisconsin on Thursday. Good news for Husker fans, has Purdue. All right, so I think it would be good news because that allows Nebraska to jump Wisconsin
if they lose.
Which I would be pretty certain that they would lose.
Did you want Penn State?
Penn State,
they go to Northwestern,
and then Maryland at home.
Yes.
Then there's another team. Or excuse me, then Michigan State would be the next team in line. Obviously, Nebraska can gain a game on them, and then they have Ohio State, which is a nice little soft 2 game.
Yeah, they should win that game.
So
here's
the thing. Here's what's crazy though. Nebraska, a huge opportunity lies ahead. They're 11-3 at home this season. They, like we said, they've won 4 straight, the longest streak of any in the Big Ten. Which you could have paid me, or you could have bet me millions at the beginning of the season that I was going to say that, and I would have said, you're crazy.
Does Nebraska ever have the longest winning streak in the Big Ten in conference?
There's a chance they have 5 straight tonight.
My answer would always be no.
There's a chance that Nebraska wins their 5th straight game this evening without 2 of their starters. Let's go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Let's go to Don. Don, what's up, man? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, guys. And I guess I reflect on it this way. If we would have won that Purdue game, would we have been as strong, as grinding, as tough of a team now? Though, if you think about it, if we would have won, I think because we had such a narrow loss, those guys just knew that they were so close and kept grinding, and that's what got them to this point now. That's where I'm throwing at.
Yeah, Don, appreciate the phone call. That's really fascinating because Now, I would argue that, I mean, think about what we were saying at the beginning of this season was this is a team they don't have a guy that's going to go out and drop 30 points a game per night. And they also don't have a guy that you need, or they're not a team that you need a guy to drop 30 points to stay competitive in the game.
You've got a bunch of guys who can do a bunch of things.
Yeah. And Nebraska struggled at the start of the year. They had to, force Blaise Keita to go out there probably earlier and sooner than they would have, initially dreamed about. And Derek Walker comes back. It took him a moment to get back into sync, and then he has a couple big games and just really good there's no other way to categorize it other than just really good Derek Walker type of games where he facilitates the basketball really well. He does those nitty-gritty kind of things that it's easy to cheer for. Now, what I will say, Don, I'm not so sure that the Purdue loss was the reason that this team has kind of responded in the way they have. I would say the injuries. I mean, because and that's where if you're playing out everything, and once again, we don't want to dwell on it, I guess, but and maybe that was my fault for bringing up the question.
Yeah,
But
you're fine.
here we are saying, at the end of the season, we're going to look back at this thing and say, man, Sam Hoiberg really stepped up. Like, holy cow, nobody saw that coming. K-State Tominaga has grown a ton over the course of the year. You've seen K-State's progress from last year to this season, but also just from January 21st when those guys went down, he played 11 minutes in that loss against Michigan State, and that blowout loss on the road against Michigan State.
It was
Now, what are we saying tonight? He's averaged over 21 per game in the last 6 games for Nebraska, and we're all out there going, yeah, let's hope K-State plays 25 minutes tonight because, man, it's electric when he's on the floor.
Let's hope he doesn't get face carded so we can actually get some cheering in when he hits a three and he's actually able to get open and not have to, fight through a million people just to touch the ball. But like you said, the injuries to Juwan and Emmanuel are the reason that this team stepped up. I don't disagree with them that who's to say if they win that game, if they end up, being what they were, but I agree with you saying the injuries are what forced this team to step up. They forced Casey into a starting role, which at the time he was coming off the bench and he was doing pretty well. And we were thinking, okay, does he continue to come off the bench? Who do you bring off? Jamarcus Lawrence has stepped up, which has you extremely excited about the future. Blaze Keita, after he came back from his injury, doing fantastic. Sam Hoiberg, like you said, nobody was expecting him to step up and play this many minutes and have this big of an impact on this team. That's not a slight to him. It's just he was on the bench, and it was a guy that he would come in from time to time to do a couple of things, but nothing too serious. And now you see him, and you think, look, this guy's keeping this team rolling at certain points during the games.
Now, to Don's credit, and where I agree with him, what that Purdue loss may have done, and also just the group of losses that they had, the blowouts to Kansas State, the blowouts to Michigan State, just the missed opportunities maybe at the beginning of the season. You go back to that tournament they played in, like against Memphis. They probably would have liked to have a little bit better of a showing in that one, and Oklahoma as well.
St. John's.
But what I will say to Don's credit is that in a good way, I think that Purdue loss may have exploited Nebraska's senior leadership in a good way. And what I mean by that is Sam Griesel, Derek Walker, Emmanuel Bandamel at the time, and still to this day, I mean, they talked about it in the press conference last week that Emmanuel Bandamel's over there on his crutches, just cheering him on, and he's the first one out there to greet him, and first one out there telling him, hey, this is what I'm seeing from my vantage point, because he understands that it's going to be different points of views from on the court from versus on the bench and things like that. I think it exploited the senior leadership, and it got this thing continuing on the right track. I mean, one thing that's been huge this season, this is the last thing before we got to go to break. What's huge this season is that they've avoided the massive lulls in the season. They've avoided the extended losing streaks. Think back to last year. Maybe it doesn't have to be as drastic as last year in a season that they went 7-25, but they lost over, double-digit straight games last season. You don't even have close to that. I mean, there was a moment there, I think, after the injuries that they lost 2 or 3 straight, or maybe 4 straight.
4. So you lost one. You lost Juwan against Illinois, right?
So you lost that one.
You lost that. Then you lost Purdue. Then you beat Ohio State by 3, and then Penn State, Northwestern, Maryland, Illinois.
So there you go. You had a stretch there where you lost 4 straight, but here we are. They figured out a way to keep fans invested and engaged in it, into the product, because it's a fun product to cheer for right now. And they're over 500. They've avoided these massive lulls that will make and allow fans to kind of lose, I don't need to go. I can just watch it on TV. Not anybody right now tonight for this game against Michigan State, anybody that considers themselves a Nebraska basketball fan, with all things considering, is saying, man, I wish I could go to that game tonight. Nobody's saying, I don't need to go. I can just watch it on TV.
Now you're struggling to find a ticket.
Yeah. So it's exciting times in Husker hoops. We got a question on the text line that maybe Rico can
Yeah, we'll get to it on the other side.
Can
We
talk
gotta
to
go.
you on the other side about the Big Ten tournament. I will say this: unnamed texter talking about the Big Ten tournament and making the Big Ten quarters or semis. I think even if they don't win the next two, if they go 1-1 or after 0-2, I still think that there's a chance based on how this team is playing and based on what they do well. Let's take a break. When we come back, it'll be Rico and Austin for the crossover. And then tomorrow I will talk to you guys at 9 a.m. from Pinnacle Bank Arena, but I got to dip out since it's Tuesday. We'll talk to you guys later, and we'll be right back on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. Just all day long, wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Red!
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town, boneless or traditional, at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1 in Bud Light, Coors, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Mike Shaver here to tell you that Trek CBD has a new name, and it's Hemp Boss. It's the same product you've grown to love, just a new name. Spring sports are on the horizon, and Hemp Boss has a variety of products that help calm me down during games and on the golf course so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options for you to calm you down before, during, and after any event. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Hemp Boss has it all at 84th and the internet. Hemp Boss, naturally healthy CBD.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused. But when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I just feel like people are not talking about enough the incomplete passing. This blows my mind.
Why does it blow your mind?
Because that's a strategy of either spiking the ball or, hey, something to stop the clock.
Now you can't do it.
You can't just stop the clock. That's a part of football. It's always been a part of football.
Right.
You can't just...
You're
You're
right.
changing the end of games completely.
Yeah, so what?
Why would you do that?
I don't think you stress that one too much. Don't even stress it. It won't happen.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. As we roll into the year, we continue to get plenty of new 2023 inventory and have a great selection of used vehicles. And if we don't have what you want, we can put a new vehicle order in for you. We also have 2.9% financing right now on select Chevy and GMC new models. So stop on in and make that short drive to Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related death in the United States. Regular screening can reduce colon cancer death by 50%. At-home screening tests, such as the fecal immunochemical test, FIT, can help identify precancerous polyps and prevent colon cancer. FIT is easy to use with no prep needed, completed in the privacy of your own home, and are often free to order from your local county health department. Take a health quiz to know if you are at risk of developing colon cancer. Doing so will help you to protect your family and yourself.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more or stop into a local Landmark and Landmark difference.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. I am Rico. Nick had to dip out because he has class and can't skip this one because he's not going to be in class for the next 3 days because he's going to be calling some high school action here on The Ticket. So I am joined by the fellas from On the Block, Austin Orman, Eric Strickland. Gentlemen, how are you?
Wonderful.
Great. Strick, I should have figured that you were going to be in town today. I wasn't sure if you were going to stream from Omaha, but then I remembered there's a big game going on tonight. Or at least it's kind of a big game. I don't know how you want to look at it.
I think it is. I think it is a big game. I mean, being it's a home game. It's your senior night. Guys that have laid it down, transferred over. You hate it for Bandamil. He's not able to participate other than, getting honored.
Is there any way that he could get some type of medical red shirt? I don't know. He played half the season.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
No, because he already used his COVID year too.
It's true.
So yeah, I don't think that works for him.
I'd look into it.
But but it's good. Also Casey is going to walk.
Doesn't mean he's leaving.
Doesn't mean he's leaving. And so there'll be some things to wear. But listen, there's a pathway. You take care of business. There's a pathway for Nebraska to jump easily up into the middle tier of the freaking Big Ten, because they have advantage over Iowa. If they can go down to Iowa and win, they would have the advantage there. And there's some teams that still have some tough roads ahead of them. That's literally looking ahead of them. And that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about on the show. We're talking about the rest of the season for Nebraska and what's ahead for them. I mean, it's in your hands. I mean, I think there's been points where it's been in their hands earlier in the season, but even more the way that they're playing as of late, there's a pathway. There's a pathway for you to get to that middle tier. And then at that point, anything can happen. One, solidifying, I think, an NIT bid. But, if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can get into that range.
I mean, you're tied for 9th with Penn State and Wisconsin. Wisconsin has to go home against Purdue tomorrow in 2 days. And then host Minnesota at home for their final game.
So you've got to win one of those, at least one of the two of those.
So they'll probably lose to Purdue. So Nebraska has to win at least one to stay tied. And then Penn State, I believe, if I remember correctly, see if I can get this, they go to Northwestern tomorrow, and then they have Maryland at home. They could very well lose both of those games.
Yeah.
So if you win one, you'll hop above Penn State. You need to win 2 to hop above Wisconsin, take sole possession of 9th, and get that first round.
You just got to be even with.
No, you got to be.
You got to be. Oh yeah, because you have a tiebreaker.
Win one.
Right.
You have a tiebreaker on them.
Ooh, okay. So you
just got to win one.
You win one.
I mean,
and you've got look. These are very easy games.
That's what I'm saying. There's games out there that are available if you take care of home. Obviously, there's some revenge factor. It's tough that Michigan State took that loss to Iowa. That made it, probably they're gonna be heated, and they've got great guard play. So when you've got great guard play, that's gonna always make it difficult. But they're coming into your building, bro, on a senior night. It's gonna be a good crowd. It's a late game. Let's go.
And I asked Steve Mark yesterday, and I'll ask you, how important would it be to get Blaise Keita back? He's dealing with the ankle injury. How important would it be just to have that other big in there? He doesn't offer much offensively, but defensively, even if he's not blocking shots, he's big enough, long enough where he alters a lot of shots. If you have, like you said, Michigan State has that good guard play. If they're trying to drive into the lane and you have Blaise Keita there waiting for them, he can draw the charge because he's very adept at that, or he can just alter those shots and get the boards. How important is it to get him back, although he probably still wouldn't be 100%?
I'm kind of halfway 50-50 on that with regards to him. I think with the way that Breidenbach played last game. If he just stays focused on that,
Mhm.
just being present, moving feet, hands. He's capable of doing those same rebounding,
Mhm.
and then going and getting offensive rebounds. Don't focus on all that perimeter stuff. Just do that.
Be big.
Rebound, be big, rebound, be physical, be present. I'm okay with that. Even I'm okay with Oleg Kolinets sightings. The way he played last game, I'm okay with it.
I love him.
If he does, if they just do and operate in their role and handle things on in the inside, I think they're okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what K to get you tonight.
Yeah.
Michigan State likes to run. Kata, limited mobility,
Mhm.
not the best matchup. So even if he was healthy, I don't know how
Yeah.
much he would play.
This is more of a, although you don't want him to be a stretch, more of a stretch Wilhelm just because he can run better.
Maybe. I think what it comes down to is get someone on Joey Hauser, make his life tough. And what you have to do is make Hogard and Walker scorers. Because if you can let them dish it out to guys spotted up wide open, that makes their life easy. And then you have to play closer to those guys and then let those guys score. Make Walker and Hogard put the game on their shoulders, take everyone else away. Because, yeah, they're good players and they'll get theirs. But you have to make life as hard on them as possible by taking away their outlets and by causing some of that chaos.
I'm okay with Hoiberg. I'm okay
Sure,
with Hoiberg
absolutely.
now. I mean, that's one of the things that didn't happen earlier in the season. You didn't really have an availability of Hoiberg. I love his defensive presence. I love his scrappiness. I think he'll take the challenge. I'm okay with him taking the challenge of that guard play.
Hard left. No more basketball talk. You guys are going to get into that on your show. I'm going to ask you about the NFL.
Okay.
So, quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is out of the dark. I don't know how long he's been out of the dark, but he's out of the dark. He can see the light. He's there.
Has he seen the light? Or
Probably.
can he see the light?
Probably not.
He's ayahuasca.
Wherever Aaron Rodgers ends up. Carson Wentz released.
Yeah.
And
Looks like he's transferring over to XFL, possibly.
I don't know,
Mm.
but could there be a reunion with Frank Reich in Carolina? Lamar Jackson wants to get paid. Do the Ravens want to pay him? And then there was another quarterback that got released that I'm trying to
Carr.
remember who. Yeah, Derek Carr got released, obviously. What's going to go on in the NFL? Best landing spot for Lamar Jackson if the Ravens don't pay him.
I think Carolina might be a good look for him, to be honest, style-wise.
Yeah, it depends on what Frank Reich wants to do. I think you take a talented player like Lamar Jackson, but the other thing is that
Yeah, it's gonna hurt
Carolina
you.
has been mentioned as a team that could move up in the draft to go get a guy. So maybe
Mhm.
Frank Reich wants someone like that. I love the idea of Lamar Jackson down in Atlanta. Lamar Jackson
that
with
is a good
Kyle
look.
Pitts would be fun.
Marcus Mariota got released.
He did get released.
Thank you. That was
Um,
Atlanta.
And here's another guy that got released, Carson Wentz. Send Lamar to
Yes.
DC, just down the road from Baltimore. I think he could be fun there, spice up the NFC East a little bit.
Well, what do you think about, I think you got to look at Bieniemy, right? Bieniemy is going to probably want, I think they're not overly disappointed with what they have down there right now, but he may be okay with that. I think he's going to want something that's, he's doing evaluations right now. He's doing,
We saw what he was able to do with a slightly more mobile, not as, not to the Lamar Jackson level, obviously, but a more mobile quarterback in Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You get a quarterback like that and an offensive mind like Eric Bieniemy. I mean, the sky's the limit there.
I think he feels like he got enough weapons.
I think so, and that's where I'll be curious to see what Eric Bieniemy wants. Does he want another franchise level quarterback in Lamar Jackson because he's worked with one before? Does he want to prove that he can work with another one? Hey, I can change, adapt to this guy, bring him along, or does he want to branch out on his own? Hey, we have Taylor Heineke and Sam Howell. No, they're probably not as talented as Lamar Jackson, but this is a chance for me to flex my brain power, to flex my muscle, and develop these relatively unheralded guys. Give people no reason to say I was just riding Patrick and Andrew's coattails. I can see him going both ways.
I think in some of his initial evaluations of Heineke, hearing him speak, he thinks he's got some tools. He's got solid, okay feet. He's got good arm accuracy. He likes some things about him. So at the end of the day, he could say we're good here.
I did see that they were still interested in keeping Sam Howell and seeing what they had there. So he was. I don't remember where he got drafted, but I know
I think he likes Howell more.
He
He
was
does like
projected
Howell
as like a potential number one overall quarterback before the season started.
Yeah.
Last two last
Drake May's going to be
college
better.
season. Drake May, big
Yep.
Drake May guy.
Well,
Okay,
he's just going to be
whatever.
better than Sam Howell.
I mean, it's not hard.
Well,
Sam
Howell
Howell's not
went in
doing
the
anything
fifth
right
round,
now.
144th
Fifth round,
overall.
really? He was supposed to be a first round guy. Things change. That's what happens when you stay too long.
It's going to be interesting who's interested in making a move.
All right.
We'll see.
All right, that's going to do it for the happy hour. Like we said, get down to PBA if you can find tickets and check yourself. This guy.
DP.
On the block up next. Adios.
Can you believe all the